And yes, it's only in Africa that sometimes you realize that a political party has money more than the whole country. Oh, my Africa. Oh. Oh, yes. And so this is one of the reasons why we have always been hoping for a united and a borderless Africa, but it never happens. Because where there is overcrowd and cyclical unemployment, sometimes lawlessness and crime looks like an option to be considered. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bra Jones, and it's your only bra from Ghana, living inside South Africa, aka Tabo, aka Tapelo, aka Karabo, aka Temba, aka Sifiso, aka Sibosiso, aka Intlantla. I discovered another one, Intlantla, aka Koglelelu. Whatever South African name you give me, I accept. Call me your South African brother. Guys, if this is the first time you're coming across this channel, please consider subscribing. Subscribe to this channel. You know, this is a travel channel with me, your bra, from Ghana, living inside South Africa. And I'm showing the positivity, I'm showing the good vibes, I'm showing the culture, everything positive. You know, this channel is always about positivity. We don't have time for negativity. We are all striving for the growth of Africa. And so since it remains a travel channel, we are going to go into other African countries from South Africa and then show Africa to the world. And then definitely we are going to go into the world someday and then show the world to the world. And so subscribe. If it is the first time that you are coming across this channel, kindly subscribe. Yes, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribe for me. But if you are a return viewer, you are already a subscriber, may God richly bless you. May God make you rich. May God bless your handiworks for always patronizing my channel. Thank you. So, in the previous video, I spoke on some of the reasons why South Africans barely travel outside their country for greener pastures to make life better for themselves at all costs, in spite of all the problems that the country has got. And I made mention of the good salary structure here for government workers and some private sector jobs being one of the main reasons why. And another thing I mentioned was the social security and various grant systems designed by the government for the citizens of South Africa to benefit from. And trust me, talking about these things seemed new and appeared to be a kind of surprise for some African natives who didn't even know that such good systems exist for an African country's citizens. And also, most South Africans got to know through the previous video for the first time that the little that they have here, for them as citizens, and that they claim is not even enough, and expecting to still have more, is even way better than that of countries like my country, Ghana, and most other African countries have. And so they learn to appreciate it through the previous video. And so now they've learned to appreciate the little that they have, even though they are still expecting more to be done. Oh yeah, that is very necessary. And once again, citizens of Mother Africa came to pour their heart out in the comment section from around the world, with some to their dismay and others being impressed by what South Africa is doing for its citizens as an African country. But among the comments that came, there is this particular comment that seems to repeat itself in almost every video that I post. And the previous video is no exception. It's like whenever I try to talk about the good systems and infrastructure in place in South Africa, this comment will come under that particular video. And so today, I decided to discuss about it. I decided to talk about it. Now, let me read one or two of the comments and then we will continue. So this one says, Bra Jones, South Africa is Europe of Africa because it was developed by Europeans. So why are you people proud of that? Shaking my head. Another one also says, let me read also this one too. My brother, white regime created all these good systems. The ANC government inherited this from the apartheid government. The only main sin for white government is and was apartheid. And the system is abolished now. Please, it is posted on the screen. So both are posted on the screen, so you can read it in full. Because of time, let's continue. Before we continue, what do you think about this comment? What is your own opinion about the comments that I posted? Or the ones that I read? They are the same. What do you think? Do you agree with them, or you have a different thought? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. But for me, what I have to say about this is that if what my brethren are saying is true, then please, I said if. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm saying if what my brethren are saying is the case, then we have a lot to do as a continent. It is not even only South Africa, but this is Africa as a whole. We have a lot to do as a continent. Oh yeah, if it is true that the colonizers made South Africa what it is today, then I will say that one way or the other, we have a lot to do. Oh yeah, I wouldn't even say South Africa alone, but Africa as a whole, as a continent, with regards to leadership. Why am I saying this? Because the colonizers that came here in Africa, after milking our resources, they didn't take them all out of this continent, but they used the same resources that our black leaders are managing today to develop years ago Africa, that till date it is still beneficiary, great beneficiary to citizens. Then I am sorry. See, the colonizers didn't build this infrastructure and systems that is still contributing to Africa's development today with monies that was brought from wherever that they came from. But out of the resources that we have here in Africa that belongs to us, and now we say black man is capable of managing his own affairs, and so we sent the colonizers packing, and now we took full ownership and custody of the same resources that the colonizers left. And now, till date, Africa as a continent hasn't reached its potential yet. Hey, a rich continent like this, blessed with so many minerals and natural resources. For example, Ghana, DR Congo, Uganda, Nigeria, etc., etc. Africa is so blessed, but yet the wealth and the riches are not reflecting on the lives of ordinary citizens. To the extent that its citizens has to now leave Africa and now migrate to the colonizers that we sent them packing, thinking that we can manage our own affairs. We are blessed, we have everything. And so black man is capable of managing his own affairs, and we are good without them. And so we sent them packing. But now, citizens are leaving the continent like that. And then going back to these colonizers that we sent them packing. We said we don't need them. What could be the case? I remember when I was leaving Ghana to South Africa, there at the Kotoka International Airport in Accra. You could see the crowd I met there. I look at them and said, hey, thousands. I was like, hey, are they sharing money here for the youth and I don't know? Or what? What is happening? It's like everyone is traveling outside the country. Hey! Well, I may not know where you are watching this video from. I don't know which African country you are watching this video from. But you will not deny the fact that your country is also experiencing the same thing as mine. Because we live in a continent where the dream, vision, and plan of every citizen, or almost every citizen, is to travel outside their country for greener pastures and seek for life or better life somewhere else. And mostly in the Western world. Except maybe for some countries I know, few countries I know, that they barely travel outside their country. Like maybe South Africa, Egypt, and some other Northern African countries. Why? Because some of our leaders, with all the good and natural resources, they are still not making the environment enable for us citizens to even hustle and make life better for ourselves on our own soil. Africa is blessed with many non-renewable resources. And I'm not the one to say this. Like my own country, we are blessed with gold, we have bauxite, we have oil, we have lithium, timber, everything. Ghana is so blessed. And mind you, they are non-renewable resources. And so, for example, when we have mined all the gold from the existing gold from the earth, there's no more going to be gold. And so sometimes I ask myself that why don't our leaders come to a realization that our future, our youth, are traveling and living outside the continent each and every day, and mostly to the Western world. And so which means that the Westerners maybe have something that we as Africans leaders, we don't have, or we as Africans, we don't have. And so now we are no more going to sell our non-renewable resources to them for money again. Because the money, when we are giving the money, we take it back to them for renewable resources like vehicles and etc. etc. Our non-renewable resources are precious, so precious to us that this time around, if they want it, we are no more going to exchange it for money. We are going to exchange it for ideas. We are blessed with the natural resources. And then maybe they are blessed with the ideas in terms of building infrastructures and then systems to make the environment enable for their citizens. And so now we go into contract with them that, look, in exchange for our non-renewable resources, bring us those people, those guys that are in charge of your continent's infrastructures, policies, systems. Bring them to our country. This time around, they are not coming to colonize us. They are not coming to control us. No, it's on a contract basis. You are going to implement your ideas on our continent, including that you are going to build us refineries, like gold refineries, the countries where gold are, and then oil refineries at the countries where there are oil here in Africa. And then now you train some of our people to take charge and then maintain it when your contract is over and then you are gone. Guys, this is me, my opinion and my contribution. What do you think? Do you side with me or not? Let me know what you also think in the comment section. I think this is the dream of every African citizen, because we know that with all the resources that we have as a continent, we don't have to struggle like that. We deserve better. We don't have to be traveling outside for greener pasture's sake. I know most of our leaders are very much aware of this dream. But guess what? The possibility of this dream coming to reality is very slim. Why? Because some of our leaders won't consider to do this. Why? Because this dream and implementing it will take, like, let's say 15 to 20 years. And for them, when they are voted into power, they have maximum 8 years to leave power and never contend again. And so any project, any long-term project that goes beyond 8 years, they will not consider it at all. Because once they are in power, they have to make sure that they have gathered enough money for themselves and their family and maybe their next generation. And now they have also gathered money, enough money for their political party to be able to be superior to the opponent in the next election. And that is what they always think about. And yes, it's only in Africa that sometimes you realize that a political party has money more than the whole country. Oh, my Africa. Oh. Oh, yes. And so this is one of the reasons why we have always been hoping for a united and a borderless Africa, but it never happens. Oh, yeah. Because for Africa to be declared borderless, I think that less privileged countries has to be managed well first, and then see to it that the economy is okay for the citizens to live a better life on their own soil, and for them not to travel for greener pastures at all costs. Other than that, when a borderless Africa is declared now, it is the giant and elite countries in Africa that are going to suffer the consequences the most. I am not against a borderless Africa. Oh no, I will never be. I will never be against a borderless Africa. I am a huge fan of a borderless Africa. But you know, I'm even in a different country, a different African country. So it won't even make sense when I say I am against a borderless Africa. No, it won't even make sense. But the truth has to be told. Oh yeah, Because when a borderless Africa is declared today, it is the giant nations in Africa that are going to suffer the consequences. And this is true. Of which I know that the leaders of these giant nations are aware of the consequences. And so I don't think they are even going to allow it to happen. Because they know what is at stake. And they know the problem that this can bring to them. Because they are trying to do the most for their citizens. But others, they are not willing to do that. And so a borderless and a united Africa seemed like it is not happening anytime soon. And that is the truth. I am not the one saying it. That is the truth. We all know what the truth is. Oh yeah, because where there is overcrowd and cyclical unemployment, sometimes lawlessness and crime looks like an option to be considered. Okay, so guys, this is where I will end this video. I don't want it to be too long and then boring. And so I will continue this topic in the next video. There's still a lot to talk about. We have just started. There's still a lot to talk about. Africa has to be great. And so please, if by any means you found this video interesting, please consider subscribing. Subscribe to this channel and help this channel grow. Subscribe to this channel. Thank you if you are already a subscriber and a return viewer. May God richly bless you and bless your handiworks. Remember that the Almighty God has created His earth and has given you power to create your own space. He says, whatever that your hand shall find doing shall be blessed. Thank you. This is what we draw the curtain. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.